Okay. Sorry about that. But I know some people that may be, oh, that's crazy. There's no way. But to God people, they would understand when God shows you something. And they're not visions, they're just dreams. Dreams of stuff that I see that is prophetic, that has came to pass. I've seen. But yeah, that's when he showed me. And I threw away my crystals. I threw away all of that stuff. And I said, God, please don't ever leave me. Because where I was going, it was a very dark place in my past. And he said, I never did leave you. I am always going to be here with you. And he proved that to this day. After that experience, I moved, and I'll never forget the day I was in my kitchen. I was listening to gospel music, and my phone kept glitching. The music kept switching, and it put on one gospel song that wasn't even on my playlist. And I don't remember what the song was, but I decided to get up. I had to use the restroom, and right there on my room door was a cross was there, and it looked like it was like dripping down the door, kind of like. And I was like, who put this there? I asked a family member at the time. I was like, did you put this on the door? And they were like, no, I don't know where that came from. It was a literal cross right, like written out on my door. It was a big one. And I was like, Lord, that has to be you because, and everywhere I go now, I see crosses in like the weirdest ways. My daughter, she was sick because you know how kids are being in school and all those kids. And her cough syrup I had, I dropped it. I have butterfingers, okay? I dropped it, and when I dropped it, it formed a cross on my floor. And I have a picture of it. Hold on. Because I kept it. I kept every God experience I have. But yeah, it formed a cross on my bedroom floor. Let me see if I can find it. But those are just of the many things that God has shown that He's always going to be there regardless. I'm sorry, hold on. I'm trying to find the picture. I could be so happy. I never knew I'd be so secure because of your love. It's brand new meaning. It's gonna be a brighter, brighter day, brighter, brighter day. Give me a minute. But so God was always constantly showing me. He was always with me. He's always there from the very beginning. And I'm very grateful for that. Of that. And then the more I started to dive deep into my word, my grandmother, she has like a library of all of these Christian books. So I went in her library one day and I was just looking at random books. And the first book I never forget I read, first Christian book, was by Joyce Myers. And I fell in love with her books from there. And then I was just reading a bunch of books. And then I started to read about Sarah Jakes. And then just a bunch of other books. And then my grandmother got me my first Bible. And I've had this Bible ever since. It's in this case. This is my Bible case. And I put it in there because it's not decorated or anything. It's not, fancy. Just oops, I dropped my little prayer journal. It's just a plain little Bible. See, this is my Bible. But I have so much notes and little things written in between it. I write a lot in my Bible, a lot of notes because I have memory problems sometimes. So if ways I remember what I read, I would write little notes in there to tell me what the scriptures is about and highlights and stuff. So it's all highlighted up, all notes, all little indentations, indents in it, not indents, little notes in it. Oh my lord. I'm trying to find this picture for all of you. But so my journey had went on from there, and God is still working in my life. God is still showing me things. God is still, you know, there are and there are days where my faith is being tested, and I have to be reminded that God is in control and not me, because I'm the type of person I like to try to control things. But I had to give all of that over to God to truly work in my life. And I'm not going to lie to you, it's hard. It's hard to let God be in control of your situations, your hardships, your relationships. it's it's very hard. But I trust him. I have to trust him. He's done so much in my life from the very beginning. Of all the trials that's gone on in my family, through all the everything, he's been there for everything since the very beginning, and he's still there. He's still teaching me. I'm still learning. I'm still learning a lot. Um, and I'm very grateful. I am. I'm in a different place than I was before. I'm in a happier place than I was before. Like I said, I'm still learning, and some days my faith it's it's dwindled. And I'm not gonna sit here and I'm not gonna lie and say, oh, my faith is up there and everything and blah blah blah. No, this is why I'm making these videos, to be completely honest with people, okay, and be raw about the situation of being a child of God. There's gonna be days, people, that your faith is not gonna be up there. You're gonna be depressed. You're gonna be sad. You're gonna be like, God, where are you? And that's the way Satan is knock you off course that way. And it is really important to have good people in your life to put you, to remind you like it's gonna be okay. Especially the situation where I am at right now in my life, which my family knows and those who are dearest to me know. It's good to have people in your life that are going to encourage you and keep reminding you that there's nothing that God can't do. God can do the impossible, and you just have to have faith. Even when days you don't feel like it, you got to. And one thing is what I love about the Lord, and the more I'm reading more about him, even to this day, he never leaves his people. When God gives you a promise about something, he doesn't break that promise. He's been like that even back then, back when Abraham was around, when Daniel, Sarah, all of them back then, he kept his promise. He kept his word. He stayed with them. And the fact that he was the same back then to even today, that just tells you that man does not change. That man does not switch up. And even when you fail or you sinned, or he always picks you back up, dusts you off, wipe away your tears, leads you right back on path that you need to go on. Because that's what he does for me. There's times when Satan will knock me off my course, completely blindside me, and God has always put me back on the right path, because that's how much he loves us as his children. And when you're a part of God's family, that is how he is. And it just makes me like, that unconditional love it's a real thing. It's a beautiful thing. Okay? And yeah. But like I said, I've been on this journey with the Lord for 4 years. I went through trying to find validation in men. I had a porn addiction. I've had depression. I've had all of that, and God came into my life and was like, because I used to think, so honestly, I used to think I had to get my life together. I had to be perfect in order to be with the Lord. I felt shamed and convicted so many times um, of the things I've done. And God was like, you don't have to be perfect and all this to be my child. You don't have to. You don't have to. And are there days where, well, back then, were there days that I slipped up and backslided? Yes. But the one thing about God is he's a forgiving father. He loves his children and he only wants the best for us. He only wants, us to keep trusting him no matter what. And that's one thing he's been teaching me. You have to trust me. You have to have faith. I'm sorry, I keep looking down. I'm trying to find this picture. I have the picture and I can't find it. Oh, God, it's going to bother me. Lord, help me, Jesus, find this picture. Father, please, in your name, Lord. Come on, come on, come on, Durandus. Oh, come on. It's got to be here somewhere. It's got to be here somewhere. Somewhere. I think it's funny all of a sudden I can't find the picture when it's been on my phone. Hilarious. That's really funny and peculiar. Come on, come on. I didn't delete it. It's gotta be here. Hold on. I'm gonna find this picture because I need to show, you know, this. I know exactly where it could be though. Um, give me a minute. I know where it could be. But and then so I'm gonna get into where the journey got really deep for me. So my mom, she battles with anxiety really badly. She has anxiety attacks and panic attacks. And one at nighttime, it's hard for her to sleep. So she was one night was having really hard time sleeping. This was like in the past. Um, and I was in my room listening to gospel music because I used to play gospel music to put me to sleep. And I went, she couldn't sleep. I went in the den where she was, and she was just up shaking. She just couldn't sleep. And was playing gospel music. It's like the Abide on YouTube, sleep meditation prayers, but it wasn't doing it. And she needed me to pray over her, so I did. I placed my hands on her and I prayed over her. And something just told me, well, not something, God. But at the time I was like, something just like I felt, you gotta yell. You gotta yell. And I was like, yell. I was like yelling for what? And that's when I realized, I was like, you know what, Satan, you can't have my mom. You can't have her mind. You got to get out this house. I was yelling at 1:00 in the morning at Satan to leave my mom. And said it was like a weight got lifted up off of her after that experience. And I was like, Lord, what was that? um, I've seen what demons look like. I've seen this tall, shadowy man figure before. I've dreamed of certain things. It's all kind of like experiences I went through with the Lord. All kind of experiences, okay? I'm sorry, I keep looking down because I'm looking for the picture. I had sent this picture to it was on a post I had posted. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Here it is. Oh my gosh. I kid you not. I have this picture on my phone, but for some reason right now when I'm trying to show it, you can't find it. Coincidence. Very funny to me. But this is how the medicine fell on the floor. Okay, hold on. Give me a minute. I ain't gotta worry about the things I can't control. Cause God's in control. Okay. So I have this picture. This was off of my old phone. And I had took a picture off of it because the phone is now disconnected. But this is the picture. This is how the medicine fell on the floor. You see it's shaped like a cross? Isn't that crazy? But yeah. So it's like everywhere I go, I see like little crosses, or God will remind me that He's here in like little ways like that. Um, One of my favorite birds is like a little red cardinal. And everywhere I go, when I'm walking like to the park, or when, I'm in the car or somewhere, I would see this little red cardinal bird everywhere I go. And I'm like, Lord, that's you. So it's just like little things like that, whereas God is like, I promised you that I'm always going to be with you no matter what. And I'm keeping my word. So, but back to, I know this story is all over the place, and I'm so sorry, but that's the point of the channel, okay? We sit and we just chatter, okay? But after that experience, God started showing me more and more about, the spirits, and, this is being a child of God and being in God's army. This is what it's going to look like, okay? You're going to come across some spirits, you're going to come across some things, and it's going to be real scary, but you got to have your armor on, and you got to keep, your head up, because it's going to get like, it's going to get scary, okay? And so that's why I said I've seen some things. I saw a family member's true form of who they were. And I think that was the most scariest dream I've had. I saw a family member in the spiritual, what they look like truly. And when I tell you I was shocked, I was flabbergasted. Okay, because I was like I always knew, but to see it, I was like, oh, okay. But I feel like to talk about this more, I have to find my journals, because that's where half of the dreams are. But to get like a better like idea of what I mean about how my dreams work. But we will get to that in a later video about that, the different dreams that I've had. But I'm still going strong. I'm still, with the Lord. I still love the Lord with my whole heart. It's just some days I feel like, God, can I even do this? And I'm being completely honest. Some days you're going to feel, up there. You're going to feel on fire for the Lord. And then some days you're going to be down. You're going to be like, God, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I'm strong enough for, try not to cry. If I'm strong enough for this. And lately he's been telling me, like, you been through so much in your life. You went through so much in your life, and I got you through so much. We went through so much battles together. that I know you're strong enough for this. There's some days when I feel like my faith is losing, or I'm losing it, my faith. I just feel so much shame. Because it's like, you brought me through so much in my life. I went through so much in my life. I was once homeless and pregnant. I went through toxic relationships. I almost died because my heart gave out on me and I collapsed because I have a heart condition. And I almost died twice. I'm grateful. At the end of the day, I am grateful for him for keeping me. For keeping me, because I think I would have gave up a long time ago. I would have gave up a long time ago. And I've been there to that point before. Like I said, before I joined this journey and this relationship with the Lord, it was just real dark for me. And it may came off like, oh, she's, which I am goofy. I am a funny person. But behind all that goofiness and all that stuff that I did, I was really depressed. I was really sad. I went through a lot. And I felt alone. Even though I wasn't alone, I felt it. And to know that he was there the whole time, he stayed with me through all of it. It's like every day I always tell the Lord, I don't deserve you. I don't deserve half of the things that you do for me. Honestly, none of us do deserve him. That man has so much grace. And he has so much mercy. For us as his children. And the only thing I can say is, Lord, I love you. I am thankful for you. And I know you will work everything out for my good. And I'm thankful that you changed my life around for the better and got me on the straight path. And I know that my story is not over, that it's only going to get better. And I believe that without a doubt. It's only going to get better from here. So, okay. I did not expect to cry. It's just, every time I look back on, and I know they say, you're not supposed to look back and go, look back on, but I feel like it's good to look back on your past to see where God has moved you from. That's how I look at it. That's what I do. I look back on the relationships that didn't happen, the friendships that were lost. I look back on, all the trials that had happened and everything. And I'm like, you know what? You know what, God? All of that was part of my story. All of that had to happen to where I am today, to build me to where I am today. And I know that it's only going to go up from here, of the many things that you have to show me, the many things that are to come. They're all to build us, to make us stronger when you go through trials. We're all part of that trial and tribulation package that he likes to drop to us. But he means it for our good, and I believe that. And I'm thankful. So we talked about the crystals usage, the validation of men that I used to have, seeing the demons, the showing me that he's always there wherever I go, to where I am now, which I am in a happier place. I am better than before. Like I said, there's still ups and downs, but I've never felt peace. And that was one of the things that I wanted, going into this journey. A lot of people were telling their testimonies and they were like, oh, I've never had so much peace and everything in my life. And I was like, I want that. So I gave my life over to the Lord. I tried to. I was very lukewarm at first. Then when I took, like I said, using the crystals and stuff started to plague my mind. The enemy started talking to me. And that's when I was like, I completely surrendered over and God changed my life. And I haven't looked back. I don't think I could ever go back to where things was, to where my life was. Like, I know so much people like give up on their faith and leave, and I'm like, I don't think I can. Why would I want to go back to that life where I was, in that state I was at? I don't think I can. I don't want to be honest. When I'm part of God's family and his army, I want to stay there. And why I say I'm part of God's army and his family is because I've seen it. God showed me what I look like being part of his family and his army. Um, I've seen me with a whole bunch of like these armor on, and I had the whole thing. Look, it's a whole thing. But I've seen it, who I really am, in that, and I don't want to leave that. So, and he's still building me up. He's still teaching me. Like I said, I'm still learning. Right now, I'm reading Psalms. Um, there's multiple. So how this happened was, I just asked God. I was like, God, where do you want me to read? Where do you want me to go? At first, he took me to Isaiah, then Genesis, and then we read Job, and then now Psalms. And it's funny because each book that I've been reading is tie into where my life is right now. Like each step, each season, that's the book I've been reading. And I think that's really cool. It's like little book club with Jesus moments. But yeah, I'd asked him, where do you want me to go? And that's where I've been reading so far. And I've had like little notes in my Bible because I'm like, okay, God wouldn't tell me to go here for no reason. So that's where I've been at right now. I'm in Psalms. And I just, just just there. But That's my story. That's my testimony of where I was before in my past to where I am today, why I gave over my life to the Lord fully. Um like fully. Okay, fully because after the crystal situation, I was like, okay, God, I start reading Christian books I told you about. But then, I still kind of was like dabbling in and out the world and stuff. And I was dating somebody, my my past, um, and it didn't work out, obviously. And I asked the Lord. I was like, Lord, this guy is not for me. He's my last ex. If it's not gonna work out for me, Lord, get rid of him, and I will just be me and you. I'll just focus on me and you fully. And I kid you not, that man dropped like a fly. And I was like, dang, that quick though. God will do it quick, honey. Because God is a jealous God. Okay. He dropped him so fast. And it's been me and the Lord ever since. And now it's me and the Lord, and anyway. But I'm gonna leave it like that. Um until the next episode. I want to talk more in depth about um what he speaks to me, what he says to me. I guess we'll get more in deep of that. Because I only talked about like the little parts, but there's more wonderful things that the Lord has shown me. So, I will talk more about that in the next episode. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a blessed day. And remember that the Lord loves you. Even if you're a believer or not, we're still God's children, and He still cares for all of us and wants the best for us. So, that is all.